You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I am back. Rodrance for Black and White Sports 2. Well, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe, like, comment. Ooh, kind of rubbed some people the wrong way with the Deshaun Watson video yesterday. Really? I mean, it took you this long? We've only done like 120 Deshaun Watson videos. And, of course, the C.J. Stroud thing. I mean, who can blame the Texans if they don't want to deal with the same agent that Deshaun Watson's got after what Deshaun Watson pulled in Houston? I totally get that. So, anyway, we're going to talk about Anthony Richardson, somebody that is just... he's becoming a media darling. Maybe he already is. The media, the mainstream media, is really trying to step in and prop up a guy, in my opinion, that is much too high on draft boards. And in fact, I've talked to a couple of people that are sort of in tune with the University of Florida and watched him play a lot, and they don't understand why he's even coming out in this draft. Like I've heard, look, we're Gators fans, and we can't believe that this guy's going to be a first-round pick in the NFL. I mean, there's some Gator fans out there that believe he couldn't play quarterback for them. Think about that. In the SEC. So that's really concerning. And now, former general manager Michael Lombardi, who's got a really damn good podcast called the GM Shuffle over on DraftKings, go subscribe. He has come out and he has made some comments because he has talked to NFL teams that's had Richardson in the building, that's had him in the building for visits, and there is some really, in my opinion, disturbing things that came out of that. If you're thinking about drafting this guy, and it's yesterday, it came out that Shane Steichen and the Colts made it pretty clear they intend on building and addressing quarterback most likely in the draft. And a lot of people believe this means Anthony Richardson. Okay, yeah, he's got all the physical attributes, but his quarterback skills, his actual quarterback skills, are very lacking. Now, you got the mainstream media that's a hoo-hoo and a ha-ha and a TT and a, oh my goodness, he scored well, he excelled well on the cognition test. And while I do think there is some value for that test, because the fact is, any guys that's ever not scored well on it have not done shit in the NFL, okay? So there is that. Now, people that have scored real well, they've not necessarily excelled, but a lot of them that have do, in fact, turn out to be pretty good quarterbacks. So he excelled on that. But NFL teams came back, and Michael Lombardi is saying teams thought Anthony Richardson was not an alpha. Not an alpha. Think about that. And look, there's only one other alternative if you're not an alpha, and that's a beta. And at NFL quarterback, you absolutely cannot be a beta. You need to be an alpha. And then there's something even more disturbing than that. Okay? And it makes me think, when I hear all this, I immediately think Kyler Murray. Look at the mess that the Cardinals are in, all because of one thing with Kyler Murray. Leadership. What does leadership tie into? Work ethic. There's people that think Kyler Murray doesn't work hard. Well, what's the opposite of working hard? Lazy. Well, some things are being said about Anthony Richardson, and NFL teams are fearing that maybe his work ethic is not very good. And that also gets dropped. So let's just start out there, and we'll go from there. My dog tried to knock off everything that I was working with here. So let's listen to this. There's Michael Lombardi. Guys, Michael Lombardi, worked for Belichick and Bill Walsh and Al Davis. And he has been around the NFL for 30 years. And, man, I got turned on to this podcast from Haberman and Middlecoff. If you're not subscribed to this podcast, go subscribe to it. It's phenomenal. It really is.
Indianapolis Colts, real quick. We'll have a couple minutes left here in the segment. Want to get to it. Shane Steichen claiming that they are no longer vying for Lamar Jackson, that they're focused on the draft. So we're hearing more and more messaging from Indianapolis that, hey, we're in draft mode. Lamar's not really being talked about in the building here. Do you think that's posturing, or do you actually believe?
That's something we covered yesterday. The Colts are out on Lamar. They're in on the draft as far as the quarterback goes.
I think they're doing exactly what they did with a rookie with a rookie quarterback that they did with a veteran. I think they're going to try to draft one. They're going to force one.
They're going to force one. That's not a great sign. Man, if you don't like a quarterback, if you don't love a quarterback, don't take him. Just don't do it. You're asking to completely torpedo your franchise.
And honestly, stand on this table and say, we got our guy. I think they've locked themselves into a trap. And if they take Richardson.
Lombardi recognizes this. And he thinks, you get the sense he thinks it's going to be Anthony Richardson at 4. I just cannot imagine that.
At 4, thinking they've got a young Jalen Hurts. Are they sure he's going to work hard? Are they sure he has the drive? Richardson, in talking to teams this week that have had him in their building this week, Richardson's a good kid. He's smart. He's not a dumb kid. He's smart. I would say he's not an alpha male. He doesn't have that Kobe Mamba mentality.
Yikes. When in history has that ever worked out at NFL quarterback? He's not an alpha male? Holy jeez. This has got disaster written all over it.
He doesn't have the inertia to just drive. He's been so gifted naturally, so gifted, that he doesn't have the drive to go out there and really dig deep into. He doesn't know how to dig deep into himself. And he's been giving things so often in his career that he hasn't had any stumbling blocks to it. I think that's the challenge.
Lack of adversity. That's yikes.
I think that because that element is going to be the most critical component to whether he's successful as a quarterback.
Richardson, and I've read, I think it was an ESPN column where teams talked about how, hey, he's not necessarily a gym rat, but we believe that he can actually get there.
Tell me one guy that just gets there. Tell me how that works. We'll talk about the other side of this break.
That's exactly right. Okay, and we'll stop that right there. Go subscribe to this pod. It's awesome. But that's exactly right. Name one guy that turns into a gym rat when they're not already a gym rat. I mean, it's just, Kyler Murray is how many years into the league? And Steve Keim is saying, essentially, in the nicest way possible, he's still saying Kyler Murray's lazy and is not studying and is not working. You got teammates saying that. And this is a guy that needs to have the best work ethic out of all of these quarterbacks because his skills are that lacking coming into this draft. It's frightening. It is. Now, this is the thing that I noticed that media, and this is USA Today, this is the Panthers. There's still people hoping and praying this guy is the number 1 overall pick. It's baffling. It truly is. I think this is a product of some of the places we're at socially right now, that the media is behind this guy and banging the drum. Anthony Richardson clearly doesn't suffer from test anxiety. KPRC2, Houston's Aaron Wilson, in a report Wednesday night, noted that the University of Florida quarterback, quote, excelled in the S2 Sports Science Cognitive Test. Wilson's source, in fact, went to the lengths of stating that Richardson, quote, knocked it out of the park. That's a good sign. It is. I'm not going to act like it's not. Sure it is. The S2 Cognition Test, which has been gaining some popularity throughout all sports, measures an athlete's cognitive skill set while breaking down their decision-making process. Athletes, according to S2's official website, take a 30 to 45-minute evaluation on specialized laptop computer that measures how they process and make split-second decisions in their sport. If you're paying close attention, this latest nugget shouldn't really come as much of a surprise. Carolina Panthers general manager Scott Fitterer, who could very well use the 2023 NFL number 1 overall pick on the apparent whiz kid, has already said Richardson has a sharp mind for the game. Yeah, he might have also been one of the guys Lombardi talked to that was like, we don't think he's got a very good work ethic or he's not an alpha. I mean, come on. Quote, so we met with him last night right there, and he was really good, he told reporters. Much further ahead mentally in terms of football processing and what he knows about the game, he was really good. And he goes on to talk about all the physical attributes. And yeah, physically, that guy's a complete dog. I mean, he's a badass. He truly is. Physically, all the physical measurables, yeah, the guy's got it. But look at this, guys. I mean, we're talking about very little playing experience. All right? 53% passing in 12 games. I would not touch this guy. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. In my opinion, the guy is I'm like late round pick, set him for 3 years kind of guy. I'm floored by it. This is the media doing their propping up, and you're going to get an owner that's going to buy into this media bullshit with this guy. You are. I mean, 6-7 as a player. 6-7 was his record. 24 touchdowns, 15 picks. That 54.7% completion percentage. Shit. Guys, it is an outlier that Josh Allen improved as much as he did with accuracy. Because generally speaking, it does not get better with most of these quarterbacks. And this is just some examples of draft pundits. Daniel Jeremiah has got him ranked 10th on his board. All right. I mean, I don't get it. Todd McShay. I'll give McShay credit. And out of all these draft pundits, McShay's probably the one I trust the most. Anthony Richardson is at least down at 32 on his big board as far as overall players. He's down at 32. To give you an idea, Young and Stroud at the top of the board. Will Levis, 13. All right. Mel Kiper. Now, it goes on to talk about Mel believes he's hearing, Mel Kiper Jr. is hearing that that the Titans may look to 3 to trade up to get Richardson. What? I mean, really? Michael Lombardi just dropped this bomb on everybody, and I wonder if he realizes that. I wonder if he realizes that when he said it. I talked to NFL teams. The guy's not an alpha. Well, the opposite of that, Michael, is beta. I mean, it's beta. That's not good. And the guy, there's issues about how hard he's willing to work. I mean, and Lombardi rightfully called him out. When has that ever gone well? When do they ever improve in that aspect? He's not wrong. He's absolutely not wrong. This is a total, in my opinion, Anthony Richardson is a total media creation. All right? I mean, Lamar Jackson, as far as a football standpoint, when he was coming in to the NFL, Lamar Jackson is a Rhodes Scholar compared to this cat and where they were at from a football standpoint. And Lamar still struggles in areas of passing. I mean, Roethlisberger blasted him yesterday over his pocket passing. What does that tell you? It's crazy how the media does this. And this is the media. I mean, they keep bringing this guy up. I mean, you saw that. USA Today, the number 1 overall pick when Bryce Young is on the board? Are you mental? Or CJ Stroud even? I would take Hendon Hooker 7 times at number 1 overall before I would touch Anthony Richardson. I mean, that's crazy. Dorian Thompson-Robinson, who, by the way, is rightfully picking up steam. He just went to a bunch of visits, including the 49ers, by the way. He is picking up real steam. That kid's got potential. Started a shit ton of games in college. Good completion percentage. He's athletic. He's got the size. He's mobile. That guy, you better watch Dorian Thompson-Robinson, dude. That dude right there, him and Hendon Hooker. And Hendon Hooker's biggest issue is the offense he ran in college. I don't love it. And that his age. That's his 2 biggest issues. But he's very mature. He's very grown up. His work ethic's great. And he's got the size. And he's mobile. I don't get the fascination with Anthony Richardson. Again, I think this is a media darling, a media creation. It is bogus. Fool's gold there. Tell me what you think, Black and White Sports 2 supporters. We got us another media. Oh my God, we're so brave, stunning, and courageous. Oh, we hope and we pray we've got another Cam Newton. That's what they're really wanting. Something's missing in their heart. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.